Hey friends, here I come. Hello, how are we doing? Welcome to this episode where I am going to be breaking down these 5 pieces of gear that I think every single wedding photographer and filmmaker needs to have in their gear kit. So let's jump into it. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the Fuji Instax wide camera that I use. The reason I like to use this camera instead of its counterpart, which is just the, I think, Instax camera that they have. This one is the wide. So it has, if you open the back up here, it has so much more space for the negative to receive light. So the negatives here are actually a little bit more of a wider format. I'll put some on the screen for you right now to see as I'm talking about it. I think that it's just a really fun way to serve them throughout their wedding day. And one of the main things that I do at the end of the day is I take all of the Polaroid photos that I have shot and I will go up to their table during the dinner and I'll drop them down on the counter. And then I'll grab my other camera and I'll take photos of them reviewing their photos from the wedding day. And it's just a really cute, beautiful way to give them something tangible right away. I always make this joke, it's kind of like a cheeky joke, and I say, you know what? I know I said that I was going to get you about 10 to 15 preview images on Monday, but I figured if I could, why not give you some preview images on your wedding day? So here you are, enjoy. And it's just such a fun thing to document. So the next thing I want to talk about is my JBL Clip Speaker that I bring with me to every single wedding or shoot that I go on. This is a must-have when you're at a wedding because when you're taking family photos, it's easily one of the most boring parts of the day, especially for the guests. So the biggest thing I try to do is make it more fun, more intentional, and just have it be more of a part of the day that we're gonna look back on and remember having some fun, right? So whether you're doing this before the ceremony, after the ceremony, wherever you are, I would recommend having a little clip speaker on you. I have a little romantic portrait jams playlist that I'll put down in the description of the episode for you to check out. I also have a more like upbeat playlist with some songs that are really fun during family photos. So depending upon the kind of vibe of the day, if you're wanting to go for more of that kind of emotional vibe, or if you're wanting to go for more of that kind of high energy vibe, any way to just engage the family and get everyone together talking and hanging out while we're taking photos is going to make it so much more interesting and impactful and just a better part of the day for the family. So the next thing that I want to talk about is this rain shield. And if you don't have one of these in your camera kit and you live somewhere where it rains a lot, or even if you don't, you never really know when you're going to need one of these. I have worked wedding days when it has been the most beautiful day, just like it is today, and then on a dime, like in like 30 minutes, it changes and the front rolls in and then it's raining. And if you're trying to get photos outside, whether it's just drizzling out or not, it can be really annoying to have your camera just getting wet, even if it's water resistant, waterproof, whatever it is. So what I get is these. You've probably also seen like the umbrellas that people slip onto like the hot shoe. I think those look a little silly. So this is basically a rain jacket for the camera. Your whole camera is covered, and then you slip your hand in through here, and you can still access all of the buttons and everything from inside. So definitely something that's worth having. If you don't have this in your camera kit already, I highly recommend getting one. This actually is a suggestion that I got from Ben Teich. So for me being here in Minnesota, it's necessary because I always joke around that we're like the PNW of the Midwest. You know, it's always kind of rainy, and if it's sunny, you never know if that weather is going to change on you. So having one of these in your kit, highly recommend. So the next thing that I want to talk about is this Ulanzi iPhone mount, which is perfect for when you're taking family photos. This is something that you can put right onto the cold shoe or hot shoe of your camera. You can put your phone onto it, and then you can bring up the shot list of like all of the family photos that you need to take. Or like, let's say you wanted to have like a little mood board or like some inspo on your screen while you're taking photos, that's something you could do too. Another thing that you can use this for is recording behind the scenes content. So I know all of us get really anxious about all of this behind the scenes content that we need to be making for our Instagrams and social medias and things like that. It's like, when do we find the time? So what I think that you should try is putting your phone onto an iPhone mount like this, putting it onto the camera, just hitting record, and you can record in landscape like this, or you can move your camera to get vertical. So for short form content, you can just have it set up like this, go ahead and hit record, and then it'll record you doing everything that you're pointing the camera at. So just a really fun and easy way to get some of that behind the scenes content, have the family shot list on your screen, or to refer to any sort of inspiration or photos that you're wanting to look at while you're taking other portraits. So Ulanzi iPhone mount, definitely a must-have on a wedding day. So the last piece of gear that I want to talk about is my Wagon, and this may be one of the most boring items on this list. However, don't mind the squeak or in the wheels, I need to grease those or whatever, but it may be the most boring thing that we have on this list, but I think it's one of the most important because it's going to help get all of your gear off of your body and into the venue as fast as possible. You can see in this Wagon I have light stands, my backpack, I have some lighting boxes and things like that. So it's super easy for me to just throw everything in there and be able to just walk into the venue, park this somewhere, and throughout the day be able to go and reference this and just keep all of my gear in one location. It is just like one of the most life-changing things I've had, and it's so important, I think, to get like my backpack off of my shoulders and to have all of my gear in one location. So that's why having a Wagon like this is the most important. And on the back, it has this little flip-out table that I put my dead batteries, or I can rest my camera on, or I put my water bottle on throughout the day. So multi-purpose, multi-use, definitely one of the things that you should have in your gear kit. So those are my 5 pieces of gear that I think that every wedding photographer or filmmaker needs to have in their gear kit on a wedding day. All 5 of these are not like the most exciting pieces of gear in the world. They're not lenses, they're not cameras, they're not anything, super expensive. So that's why I wanted to make this video, because each one of these things is just a small piece that makes a wedding day for me so much more enjoyable, and it helps me create without any sort of like limitations or headaches or anything like that. So let me know what you think of these 5 pieces of gear down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you're liking what you're seeing. We have a lot of really great educational content coming for you this year when it comes to filmmaking, photography, and podcasting, and talking about my co-working space and shared studio filled with other creatives just like you. So thanks so much for watching, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.